Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Week 15 waiver wire live stream. You did it. You made it. You're here. It's the playoffs, boys and girls. Congratulations, and hopefully everyone's doing pretty well. I know last night, a lot of people's hopes and dreams kind of broke along with Kyler Murray's knee. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Rhamondre Stevenson's injury. We're going to get through all of those things for you today, including the waiver wire pickups. And now some new calculus going on. Some teams that did sneak by who are going to need some quarterback help, some running back help because they lost some people here. So, Debro, all that work we did yesterday, looks like we got to pile on some more. But before we even start today, the regular season is over. So fantasy football now, we can look back and say, okay, what we got right, what we got wrong. And I just want to say here at Fantasy Pros, we got one thing really right. Because in PPR, there was one dude who was above all else in terms of points. He gave you a 30-plus point day when you needed it most in Week 14 to get you into the playoffs. And that man's name is the wide receiver one, Justin Aloysius Jefferson. I don't know if that's his middle name or not. It's his middle name now as far as I'm concerned. Justin Jefferson, the 1-1 in PPR points heading into the playoffs. D-Bro, this is not a victory lap. This is an endorsement of the work we do here. And I want everybody to understand, if you're here with us at Fantasy Pros, we're ahead of the curve. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get ahead of things, talk about the evolution of the game we love, and trying to help you win championships. And I see from people here and all the questions, we've got some championships to win. But D-Bro, let's start not with Justin Jefferson. Let's start with Kyler Murray. What does this do now that we have Colt McCoy for the rest of the season? For these guys like Hollywood Brown, who just came back, we were super excited. DeAndre Hopkins, James Conner got fed a lot. So what does the Cardinals offense look like? Number one, and number two, where do we go to try to fill the void of Kyler Murray if we're still relevant in the playoffs?
Well, first off, we got to kick this off. Justin's middle name is actually Joshua for everybody out there. And
ooh, he's Triple J.
Yeah, I had to actually, you brought it up and I was like, oh, that sounds beautiful. I need to Google it. So I had to get on Pro Football Reference and find out, not only the illustrious
Joshua
nicknames,
Jefferson,
but his middle name.
Fabulous alliteration. You know what it goes really well with? 1-1. That's what it goes well with.
It's true. Yes. It's very true. But getting back to the Cardinals, Joe, I mean, look, that game, and I tweeted it out, was like Armageddon. Like, you're literally watching the entire game, and it's like everybody's going out. Like, every running back's getting hurt, quarterbacks are getting hurt every single snap. With Kyler Murray, losing him obviously really hurts the fantasy teams that were, I mean, honestly, leaning on him as a top-tier, near elite quarterback play with the rushing upside. DeAndre Hopkins back now, Hollywood back in the fold. So really, that's going to hurt a lot of teams out there. Colt McCoy, we've seen him. He's been serviceable. And he's an above-average game manager type of quarterback. It doesn't help us a lot in fantasy, but I think if you're looking at the main cogs of this offense, assuming James Conner, who returned to the game, is healthy, I think Colt McCoy helps him a ton because he's not going to be taking off running. So checkdowns, and we've seen that in the games where he's been active, checkdowns to James Conner. So raising his weekly floor and ceiling. And DeAndre Hopkins is the only guy that I think that we can look at it's kind of a push. He's been he's still getting his targets. He's still been good in fantasy when McCoy's been under center. But all the other tertiary weapons like Trey McBride, you weren't starting him anyway. Hollywood Brown now goes from possibly the borderline of a wide receiver 2 to now a wide receiver 3 territory. So you're really just looking at all the other parts or pieces outside of Hopkins and Conner get a downgrade here.
Well, we had Mixiala on the Chialella, I should say, on the show last week. He was talking about James Conner, and people were a little, kind of surprised they like Conner so much in the matchup because the Patriots have been so good against the run. But that volume is king, and the volume was there, and it's going to be there going forward, especially with Colt McCoy under center. What about Rhamondre Stevenson, too? I know we're still waiting for more clarity about Damian Harris. We saw a few other Patriots working, obviously, in that backfield. We saw Pierre Strong rip off a big run, too. That was fun for those of us who watch college football. Remember his playing days last year. And Kevin Harris, who seemed to be getting the workload. So, again, it's very early to tell. But in terms of speculation, how much do you want to speculate on the Patriots backfield, if at all?
Well, I think looking at it, and we are hearing the rumblings of it's an ankle sprain now, whether it's high or low, we'll hear about it, as the week kind of evolves. But in looking at this backfield, the guy I really want is Pierre Strong. And this is no ding on Kevin Harris. He looked good. Damian Harris is still banged up. I don't know if we even see him this week or even next week. So considering all of that, yes, if you could see Kevin Harris out on the waiver wire as well as Pierre Strong, my preferred pickup is Pierre Strong. He's a guy I loved coming out of college. Pre-draft, he was my RB3, Joe, like pre-draft. He was behind
really?
only
I didn't realize you had him that. Look, he's a playmaking guy. He can catch the football.
He's
and I
really
think
good.
That was the thing, if you're looking at fantasy circles for a guy, somebody who could catch the football, you saw him do that in college. He was very strong there. South Dakota State, by the way, for those of you who don't know. But it was one of those things that if we're in the PPR leagues and you're just kind of looking for a flex guy, if indeed we get to a point where it's against the Raiders too, let's keep that in mind. It's a pretty good matchup for whoever is back there. There's some fantasy points potentially for Pierre Strong.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing, if you're also looking at differentiators, I think Pierre Strong is the one that's going to be running the routes out of the backfield. And he's the one with the home run ability. We saw that this week, Joe. Like, that's littered throughout his college tape. Pierre Strong is a one cut and go. I likened him. He was Breece Hall light to me. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, but you can go. I mean, look, it's out there. It's still in. You can go Google it.
I liked his combine. I liked when I watched him in college. I thought it was a good draft pick. And then they picked up Harris too. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what they're doing now in terms of this. So I actually have some shares of both those guys in Dynasty because I liked both of them, what they might be able to do. And we know how Bill Belichick cycles through running backs. All right, before we get to your questions again, you got questions, we've got answers. We'll get to you in a second. The waiver wire pickup of the week, courtesy of the Sleeper app, is Elija Moore of the New York Jets. Uncertainty with Corey Davis, maybe some uncertainty with who's playing quarterback, but as long as it's not Zach Wilson, Elija Moore is our guy. 6 catches on 10 targets for 60 yards. No touchdown. If he had the tutty, it would have been a better day for Elija Moore, but we got a good matchup this week. Hopefully some more throwing for the New York Jets quarterbacks, and Elija Moore is somebody that you were high on last week. You were right. He didn't have the touchdown, but Derek Brown, he's still just I would say 60+% available still in sleeper leagues and other leagues as well. So why should people pick up Elija Moore for those people who didn't catch the pod yesterday?
He led the team in targets last week, and this is not even just a Corey Davis take, but you're looking at whoever's under center, whether it's Mike White playing. If Mike White is out, I think it's going to be Joe Flacco under center. This team still has playoff aspirations, and there is no way I can see Saleh letting Zach Wilson back under center if they're still in the playoff hunt. So considering that, we know the rapport that Flacco has with Elija Moore. The next 3 matchups, Joe, so you're looking at the entirety of the fantasy playoffs, unless you go all the way to the end of the season, they're beautiful. Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle. All of these teams have struggled against wide receivers. Seattle specifically, slot wide receivers, and with giving up Yak. This all screams that Elija Moore is probably going to end up being, I mean, come on, like, what are we talking about here? Like a wide receiver 3-ish type of play with upside on a weekly basis moving forward. So yeah, I love Elija Moore.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the questions here. Let's start with Kenny's Life with a Y because he's cool, Kenny. Should I start A.J. Brown versus the Bears or Mike Williams versus the Titans? That's how we're going straight out of the gate here today.
AJB, baby. I'm going A.J. Brown. There's no way I could sit him.
That's the thing. Like it's not a knock on Mike Williams. I'd like to get both these guys in my lineup, to tell you the truth. Like, Mike Williams is very flex appealing to me against the Titans, and Herbert, my goodness, Herbert with everybody back looked so good. Do you know that nobody's thrown for more yards in the first 3 years of his career than Justin Herbert? You know that?
Wow, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's an awesome player.
Unbelievable. You were to think it was somebody like Mahomes or somebody not. No. It's Justin
Herbert.
I
was told by major media that he was a social media quarterback, so I guess we do have to shade him because of that.
What kind of moron said that? I don't even know what
it's out there. It's out there, Joe. I'll leave people to Google it and find it for themselves.
He's a social media quarterback. Why? Because he's got like flowing hair and he looks like a quarterback from Central Casting? No, the dude is good. He was good in college. I know a lot of us were kind of skeptical how fast he would transition to the NFL. But once he did what he did his rookie year and then doubled down on it last year and got better, this year you can't knock the dude for all the. I mean, they have had so many injuries. At some point, he had no Williams and no Keenan Allen. He's making things work with Josh Palmer and whatever you can get out of Eckler. I mean, come on, man. Like, I don't want to hear this noise about
Justin
negativity
Herbert
about
is one of
Justin
the
Herbert. He's so
few
good.
quarterbacks in the NFL that not only you can win with, but you win because of. He is the type of quarterback that raises all ships. And look, that's rare. That's rare in the NFL.
This team went out there and they went and got Khalil Mack. They got JC Jackson. They got all of these guys on defense, right? And they all got hurt. Derwin James hurt last week. Like, just so many injuries on defense. And they tried. They knew the defense was a problem. They went out there and they spent money on it, and all the guys got hurt and didn't perform. Like, what do you want? They tried. It's not Justin Herbert's fault. I had to go get a drink. I was so mad about that. It was crazy.
Maybe he needs to play cornerback too. Who knows?
I mean, what else does he have to do? Jeez. Robert Lavelle. Good. You know, I get the same problem because people are like, oh, he's just pretty. That's the only reason he's there. I hear that noise a lot about myself, and it's just not true. I've earned this.
Sorry. I was supposed to mute myself.
Why is that funny?
I don't I was looking at something on that other screen, Joe. Go ahead. Questions, yes.
Robert Lavelle. Good morning, franchise players. What is your opinion on dropping Jeff Wilson and adding Jerick McKinnon or J.K. Dobbins? Where are we at with this one? Look, he's going up against Buffalo. It's going to be cold. Very cold in Buffalo on Saturday night, from what we hear. What do you think about this? Are we chasing Jerick McKinnon? It's a great matchup. I mean,
nope.
The argument you can make about McKinnon is it's Dome Mahomes. And Mahomes in the Dome is a special thing. It's one of those things to behold. Like in DFS, I'm going to pay up for it this week. I'm just telling you I'm going to. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it might be Jerick McKinnon. So you're not dropping Wilson for McKinnon or Dobbins.
Oh, I'm not dropping him for McKinnon. Now, Dobbins is a totally different issue. I will drop him for Dobbins in a heartbeat. And this comes down to if you're in playoff time and you're week to week. If you're playing this week, it's win or go home.
Well, this is DFS
Wilson
basically.
Probably doesn't even play now.
Right.
Like, he's dealing with the hip issue. You're looking at like he's probably out this week because again they play on Saturday. So do the Ravens, and the Ravens get the Cleveland Browns this week. So J.K. Dobbins put up 100 rushing yards versus the Steelers. What do we think he's going to do versus the Browns?
Yeah, I'm with you. I to tell you the truth, I feel better about Dobbins and McKinnon over Wilson this week. Just playing the totals of.
I don't even know if Wilson's going to be active. So,
well, that's the thing. It's like it's uncertainty. You know, what's this? 4 in a row now for the Dolphins they've dropped. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, it's 3 or 4. They've been on.
It's at least 3. I mean, things are hitting the skids pretty quick here. Yep. Jamie Houston, with Murray done for the season, safe to drop Hollywood for a waiver wire pickup of Olave. How in the world?
Oh my lord! How is Olave out there?
I mean, I guess somebody had to make a drop or something because he was on a bye and somebody needed somebody or something.
The quick answer is yes. Do that. Do that now.
Do that. But I don't. I mean, it's probably a 10-team league or something. That would be my guess too. 10 teams,
I don't care if it's
bench.
8. I don't care if it's 6.
Or somebody got drunk and dropped Chris Olave. One of those things. It happens. These things happen.
It happens.
Jacob Glazer, half PPR. Is Jordan Mason a strong play if CMC has to sit out on Thursday?
I don't project CMC to be out this Thursday, but yes, he'd be a very
that's
strong
the first
play.
I'm hearing. I don't know if Jacob Glazer is breaking news to us. I know I've been busy this
maybe,
morning, but I have not heard that.
Maybe he's on the hotline with Jay. Who knows?
Hey, yeah. Jacob, are you really Jay Glazer? Is this like the full name? Is this like your incognito mode? You're hanging out with Fantasy Pros?
We're dropping news here.
I look like I could be related to Jay Glazer. Just putting that out there. Definitely
yes, you and everybody else that's hair challenged.
No, it's not that. Like we just like facially too. I think we could be relatives. Not like brothers, but like cousins.
Okay.
You know, we're kind of like bulky too. We like we wear suits that don't really fit us. You know, it's like that kind of thing. All right, let's go to our pivot. Dulcich, Tua, Palmer, none are my starters. Are they all drops for anybody or just droppable? Well, look, I understand it depends on what you're dropping them for.
They're not just droppable, and it just depends on who you're dropping them for. But like in a vacuum, no, I'm not dropping any of those
let's talk
guys.
about like, would you drop, since Elija Moore is your number 1 guy of the week, would you drop Palmer for Moore?
If you need somebody to play this week with higher upside, yes.
I agree, because now that Williams and Keenan Allen are back, I just don't know how much there is, even with Herbert being prolific, how much there is to go around. Because Mike Williams looked good. So that's your bar. Depends on what's available, RP. Anthony Ramos, our good friend Anthony, still in the playoffs. There you go. I like to see these names as people come back. You know, it's funny, D. These people are here every single week on the live streams, who are listening to the pods, who are hanging out with us. They're still here. They're still here because they're in the playoffs.
Crazy.
It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Look, this is your goal. Your goal is to get to the playoffs. Anything can happen there. Lots of bad luck sometimes. Just get to the dance. That's what you got to do.
Yep. All you got to do is do that. The rest of it, I mean, it's all up in the air. You just need to.
That's in the
you
fantasy
need some good
football
luck to
God's
run in the
hands.
playoffs.
That's it. I got to knock Jake Seeley out of the playoffs yesterday.
I saw that. I saw Jake was very happy about that too.
I was licking his salty sweet tears. They were delicious.
I saw your Cartman gif.
Oh, so good. And the week started for him. He started Wolford. It's a super flex league, and he got a big fat 0. So it was. So he was
already tilting when Baker came in and won the game.
It was a slow burn of pain from Thursday all the way to Monday night for him.
Didn't you tell me you started Evan Ingram against him too?
I did. I started Evan Ingram. I started Justin Jefferson. So it was a pounding. It was like 150 something to like 90 something. It was just brutal.
I'm sorry, Jake. We love you.
Good friend Jake. Love you, Jakey. Anthony Ramos, pick 3, 18 PPR, Travis Etienne, Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift, Garrett Wilson, and Michael Pittman. Okay, so we're picking 3. It's an 18 league, so it's obviously very short here. We're going to get 3 of these guys in the lineup. When you have an 18 league, you got to have a little bit more upside. Now, I know you've talked a lot about the Indianapolis Colts this week, but I don't know if that's the place we want to go. I assume you want to go with some volume here, and I also assume, and maybe this is incorrect, that I think the Minnesota Vikings have to look at the table last week and say, we have to get a little bit more balance on offense. We have to commit to running the football more. I think I want to get Dalvin Cook in this lineup this week. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so for me, it's going to be Dalvin. It's going to be Garrett Wilson. And I need to pull up who the Jaguars are playing. Yep, you know what? It's going to be Dalvin, Etienne, and Garrett Wilson. I'm sitting Swift and I'm sitting Pittman.
Etienne's playing Dallas this week.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going with Eitenne for floor and ceiling over even Pittman because here's the thing. I project this as being a possibly really good game for Paris Campbell, and we could see Alec Pierce pop off. I mean, Michael Pittman has not had a red zone role.
I don't know if you can hear me, D. Can you hear me still?
I can still hear you. I don't know. Did you cover your mic or your camera with like an oil painting?
It literally just decided it wanted to stop.
Art Deco, Joe?
I don't know. Well, we're going to go. This is all I can do is kind of reboot everything here. And it's working here. So that's part 1. So
you made too many comments about you being pretty. Your camera said, okay, fine.
Oh, that's what happened. I broke the camera because I was
broke
so
the camera.
pretty.
You were too pretty. I mean, this we should have expected this, Joe.
The Camo app on my computer is frozen. That seems to be what's going on here. So I don't know what else to do.
Has broken the screen.
Reset. This is fun. This is what happens in week 15, everybody.
Hey.
So Chris, I guess I have no choice but to reset here and let D-Bro take some questions. Are we gonna go just do this? Okay. Yeah. All right. So D, you take it. I'll come back and hang out with you a little bit.
I'll see you in a minute. Go ahead and
I'm gonna take a break. In the meantime, enjoy this plug, the device.
All right. Well, while Joe is sorting out his boomerism, next one up here is from Andrew. Rachaad White, Jerick McKinnon, or DPJ at flex. Looking at, I can remember who the Bengals or Buccaneers are playing. Okay, so Cincinnati. We had to talk about Jerick McKinnon. I'm actually going to go DPJ here. And I know that the Browns are getting the Ravens, but you're looking at their secondary. Yes, Marlon Humphrey is tough, but Marcus Peters on the other side can be beat. So I'm going to lean with the upside and go DPJ. Next one up here, Raiders fan, Fields or Tua? Fields is a top 5 quarterback for me. I've talked about this on the podcast. I've talked about this on streams. His ceiling and floor combo is fantastic. And we're talking about the Miami Dolphins have been struggling over the last few weeks. That's also come down to their passing attack. If you look at the coverage that the Chargers were running last week, I'm not going to say the league has figured them out, but they are challenging this offense to adapt and overcome because they're kind of figuring out what they're doing on a lot of these passing plays. Next one up here from Cody Schlott. What's up, Cody? Hello, fantasy family. Need a dart throw on QB this week. And oh boy, it's slim pickings. Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, or Brock Purdy. And why is it Purdy? Well, I don't know if it is Purdy. Tell you the truth. Looking at the 49ers versus Seattle, yeah, it's not a bad matchup. Although you're looking at Brock Purdy, he's really a sum of the parts type of player. I honestly, looking at these 3 quarterbacks, I'm going to go with Matt Ryan again. And there's Joey P. Tell me this, Joe. Welcome you back to the stream here. Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, or Brock Purdy. Who are you going with here?
Matt Ryan, Baker Mayfield, or Brock Purdy.
Yep.
I'm going with Matt Ryan, and this ain't close.
That was my answer.
I am not too. Now, here's the fun thing. Because I had to rejoin the stream, now I can't see any of the questions that Chris has loaded. So, Chris, unfortunately, you're going to have to load a bunch more questions for me because that happened as well.
Well, okay, just fine. I'll just read off the next one.
Read off the next one. Now, I'm the expert. And you're the host.
I'm just gonna toss them up to you. Layups, baby.
This is wait, hold on a second. Let me do it right. Here. You take
put
off
your
hat.
on.
I'll put this hat on.
All right, fine. All right, here we go. We're gonna change.
All right, here we go.
Change spots here.
Okay, ready? Go.
So the next one from Carl Blackensheen. I like that last name. Start Dallas, or maybe that's wrong. Chris is telling me that I butchered that last name. Yeah,
it's a lot harder than it looks, isn't it, Sunshine?
Yeah, I you know what? I have never claimed to be good with names. I'm not going to throw that out there. Anyway,
see some of the things I got to read here.
Back to the. I'm going to flip this one to the expert here. Start Dallas of the Green Bay defense this week.
Oh, I haven't even got into the. I got to pull up all my charts and stuff again because I had to restart my whole computer.
Your spreadsheets and stuff.
My sheets. I got my things.
That's probably what crashed your camera. You had too many spreadsheets open.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Just blacked out. All right, so who are the two choices now? I've got it up here.
Green Bay and Dallas.
Green Bay against the Rams in the cold, or the Dallas Cowboys against Jacksonville, and a team that is really playing pretty well right now. Trevor Lawrence is humming right now. He has really picked things up. Look, Dallas is it's hard not. You have to start Dallas because they've been so good. They get to the quarterback. They can create turnovers. They get sacks. The offensive line still is a piece of work put together. I understand the question though, because I get like the Green Bay narrative that you're trying to put here against Baker Mayfield and the Rams, but you know what? We tried to put that together on Monday Night Football. That did not work either. So that was no.
Well, the other side of this is we are also saying this with the caveat that Trevon Diggs plays. I know he left last week's game. I got to look back and see did he return or not. But I know Anthony Brown is also hurt. So this is also kind of under the assumption, at least for me, that Diggs plays. But I'd still go Dallas here. They pressure the quarterback well.
Speaking of Trevon Diggs, by the way, if you want a chance to win a Trevon Diggs autographed Dallas Cowboys mini helmet, courtesy of our friends at Pristine Auction, all you have to do is subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. That's right. Subscribe today. Drop a question, comment in the chat there. And then you like the stream, click that little bell till it goes ding. And the Trevon Diggs mini helmet can be yours. Look at it. It's so adorable. You can put it on your children, let them run around the house into furniture if you want. I know Friedman would like to have this because Friedman is very into the Cowboys, but he's not eligible to win. So you are. So again, like the stream, subscribe to Fantasy Pros, drop a comment or question, turn the bell on. That's all you got to do. And you can win that nice little piece. And if you don't like the Cowboys, give it to somebody who does. There you go. One less Christmas present to buy. I do not see any questions still in the private chat for myself. So D-Bro, you're going to have to.
Well, I'll put my hat back on.
I know it's not a bit. I'm not pretending.
With your professional transition, I thought you were taking the hosting duties back here, Joe.
Well, so. I thought they'd be up there by now, but clearly some other things. They're coming in now, so now we can switch hats.
Chris is staring at you very, very hard.
Well, I'm just I'm doing all I can here. I can't change the technical issues of things. All right, Darren Butler, Geno or stream Purdy, Dalton, Ryan. That's the one we just did, right? Or no? This is another one.
No, this is another one.
Okay, Geno. 100% I'm still playing Geno. I have not lost faith in Geno Smith.
Play Geno. It doesn't matter. You play Geno.
Let me tell you. It's I don't know why people lose faith so quickly. He had a couple picks, so what?
It's a tough matchup. I get it, but it's still Chef Geno. You're playing Chef Geno over all those guys.
In Geno. I'm not going to lose my playoffs with
how
Andy
tilted
Dalton.
Are you going to be with Matt Ryan? If he just decides to poop his pants this week, would you be so tilted?
Geno's the guy that got you there.
Geno.
Listen, Geno's the guy that got you there. I know it's a tough matchup. Play your best players. That's the other thing. People always make this mistake in the playoffs. They get to the playoffs and then all of a sudden they start over managing things. Look, you play your best players unless it's a really bizarre set of circumstances where it's two guys who are really close and you have to make a decision. Then you look to the other things in the matchups. Play your best players. Jason Young. Is Fournette startable going forward? My starters are Kamara, Montgomery. My bench is Algier, P. Ryan, and Fournette. Honestly, I don't feel great about Fournette. I'm playing Kamara and Montgomery right now.
I'm seeing who Chicago is playing. They're playing the Eagles this week. I'm still, I'm with you.
Montgomery. I'm done with
I'm still playing Kamara and Montgomery.
I'm done with the Buccaneers.
Not healthy. Yeah.
And I went on this rant like 2 weeks ago, and everybody thought I was being hyperbolic about the Bucs. Not. They're not good. I don't know what's gone on there. The special sauce is gone. The spice melange is not there anymore for Tom Brady. It's done. I don't know what's going on with the Bucs. I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I don't know if it's a personnel thing. I don't know if it's like just the age of the team. Whatever it is, it's over. Move on. Nick H, Etienne, Rashad White, B-Rob, or Pacheco. Pick 2 in the full PPR. Look, man, watching Isaiah Pacheco, there's no way he's coming out of my lineup anymore. Like, he is in. So is it him and Etienne for you? Just put your best guys in?
Yep. That's easy. I'm not going to play the Rashad White versus Fournette game. B-Rob still has to deal with Gibson, and B-Rob's got a ton of volume, and he's still not doing anything with it. So, yeah, this is easy for me.
Abraham Escamilla, Justin Fields, or Mike White. I mean, come on.
Bro.
What are we doing here?
Bro, come on.
Come on! It's Abraham!
Fields. It's Fields, man. Like, I just said this a second ago. Fields is a top 5 fantasy quarterback weekly. It does not matter. Unless you have somebody inside that top 5, you're not debating starting Justin Fields at all.
Look, nobody likes Magic Mike White more than me. He is a hero to small children in the tri-state area where I live on the East Coast. Okay? They are building a statue of him outside of MetLife Stadium. It's working already. But you can't start him over Justin Fields. The guy has a rushing floor of 75 yards every week.
We don't even know if Mike White plays this week with his ribs, too.
Oh, my God. Like, this is crazy,
that
Abraham.
Sounded painful, Joe.
Crazy. B-dubs. It's good. I haven't had a good bro in a long time. I got to really bro somebody. Bro down right now. Abraham, I still love you. Don't worry. B-dubs. Drop Andrews for Ingram. Here we go. Chasing points. No, can't do that.
No.
Well, I guess here's a question. If we get to a point here where it's not Lamar and it's not Huntley, I don't want to drop Andrews for Ingram, but I want to play Ingram over Andrews.
You do?
I do. I'm not going to Anthony Brown as my quarterback. That ain't happening.
I'd still go Andrews. I mean, look, I know Ingram is coming off the massive game. If he wasn't coming off this monster legendary game, I think we would be pumping the brakes here. Even with Anthony Brown at the helm, Andrews is still a more talented tight end. He's still going to run more routes. He's still going to be in for all of the dropbacks. And yes, Evan Ingram is mostly a part-time. I mean, he's mostly a full-time player, but we're also talking like the Dallas Cowboys linebackers are playing well. They have been good against tight ends. I'll swing. You talked about going down with your studs. I'm going to go down and swing with Mark Andrews.
Look, I get that. If it's Lamar, if it's Huntley, it's fine. If it's none of those guys, I'm not swinging with a third string quarterback who doesn't know, his rear end from his elbow. I'm not doing that. Ingram is startable right now. And let's be honest, Andrews hasn't done a whole lot in the last month anyway.
No,
he hasn't had a lot of good games. So I don't know how
that also kind of make the conversation for he's due.
No, he's not due with Anthony Brown. Jeremy, listen to me now and believe me later. Add Evan Ingram as insurance if you can.
Yes.
Or if you
add
wait.
him, that's fine.
Don't drop Andrews necessarily.
No.
Drop somebody else because chances are, look at your lineup in this week and what you need to get by. Tight end is that one thing where you might need that. If it ends up being Anthony Brown at quarterback, and I'm not trying to knock the kid, but we're late in the season here for a third string quarterback. That is asking a lot. Okay. By the way, Fantasy Insider and NFL Insider Mike Mayer put a poll up on the live stream. Do Joe Pisapia and Jay Glazer look like they could be related? 53% say yes. So there you go. 178 votes in.
You said 53%?
53. Yeah, I think like a cousin. You know?
So 53% of our audience needs to go get their eyes checked. That's all I heard.
Oh, I'm just saying.
I'm just throwing it out there, Joe. The eye test. Right. Like,
let's go to Jeremy Lyles. Drop Lamar for Purdy.
I'm going to write down some letters and we're going to go through it and see if everybody can read them. Lamar for Purdy. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, I don't know what the circumstances that.
Here's the thing: is like, are we talking about? I'm guessing it's not Superflex or 2QB because Purdy would not be out there. Is this just a streaming option?
Single quarterback league?
I'm not dropping Lamar. I mean, I'm guessing like, do you have anybody else that you could stream on?
Well, that's the question
roster.
Here. And Jeremy,
I'm not dropping Lamar
Discord, though. FantasyPros.com/chat. That's what you got to do because this is when we can talk these things out. So go hit us up over there because we need more information. DJ, Should I start Jeudy, Cristian Watson, or Zay Jones for me in the flex in the full PPR? I'm playing Cristian Watson.
Watson.
It's
Watson
not
by a
close for me.
mile.
By a mile. Especially as we downgrade quarterback in Denver. There's no way Russell Wilson plays this week. None. Too much money and wrapped up in that with the concussion issue. King J, should I drop James Cook for Paris Campbell, Mecole Hardman, Marquise Goodwin, or Alec Pierce? I don't want to run to drop James Cook, but Paris Campbell and Mecole Hardman are very startable this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go Paris Campbell.
If you desperately need some wide receiver help, I'm okay with this. I'm good with
It's win or go home now.
Yeah,
so for me, I'm trusting Paris Campbell. I went down the James Cook rabbit hole last week, and James Cook just crushed my heart last week. Give me Paris Campbell.
There you go. It was very dramatic of you, the way you framed all that. John Sventek, half PPR, pick 2. Eitenne, Brian Robinson, Jeudy, or Hopkins?
That's Eitenne and Hopkins. We have a lot of people are worried about Travis Etienne. He's still a top 15 to 20 running back. He's had a tough stretch, but I mean, again, we're going back. Does anybody expect a lot of production for running backs going against Tennessee? You shouldn't.
No, but in all fairness, too, 9-0-6-3. That's the last couple of weeks. I think we're all unsure if he's healthy.
One of those was he was hurt too. So
that's what I mean. For me, if you don't want to find out, these are good enough options where I'm not playing Jeudy, but I would play Hopkins and Brian Robinson against the Giants. I mean,
what tells me that Travis Etienne is healthy enough is the fact that, yes, the production wasn't there over the last 2 weeks, but he played 88% of the snaps and 75% of the snaps.
He had 17 carries. He just couldn't go anywhere. And yes, Tennessee is very good against the run. They're
to me, it just means I think he's healthy, and I think we see a bounce back this week.
I wouldn't be surprised if Eitenne and Brian Robinson are right there neck and neck in points, though. That wouldn't shock me. So if that's the case and you're worried about the health thing and you just don't want to go down that route with the ship that way, that's fair. Hopkins and Robinson, or Hopkins or Eitenne if you want the upside. Eitenne has more upside. There's no doubt about that. Camilo Hollywood, Brown in the flex, have Gabe Davis on the bench, or should I be picking up someone like Chark, Campbell, or Moore? I would like to pick up Chark. I don't think Hollywood Brown is going to be completely useless with Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy's fine. Colt McCoy is fine. He's not anything to write home about. But would you play Gabe Davis over Hollywood Brown, or would you play Chark or Campbell or Moore over Hollywood Brown?
I'm not playing Chark this week over. I'm not going against the Jets. Maybe you can make a conversation for Campbell if it's PPR. I think in a lot of instances, I'll probably still be starting Hollywood. And I know Denver has been good as a secondary, but outside of Patrick Surtain, their other outside corner can be beat. So I think if you're looking at anything, this could be a sneaky good spot for Hollywood. So I'll roll with him.
I'm trying to remember. What was the game where Josh Allen hurt his elbow? What game was that? It was before Minnesota, wasn't it?
It was right before Minnesota.
Was it the Jet game?
Was it the Jets? I want to say
Jets and Green Bay the 2 weeks before. And the point I'm making is, ever since the Josh Allen elbow issue, Gabe Davis has had one.
Yeah, it was the Jets.
Game. It was the Jets. Now, the next week against Minnesota, Gabe Davis did put up 18, but ever since 9-6, 9-5. So Gabe Davis has not been the same guy because Josh Allen right now is just not the same guy.
No, I mean, he's throwing for 197, 253, 223, 147. He's just not been the same guy.
All right, Jeff Argello. Still alive, guys. Thanks for all the help. QB question, Dak or Fields? I got to win. I'm playing Fields. That's no hesitation for me, Jeff. I feel good about it. If it's wrong, you can come back and yell at me next week. Or yell at D-Bro if you prefer. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
I will say, I look at Dak as being in the same type of he has a great
QB1.
matchup.
He's not elite.
No, he's not. Now, Jacksonville is really bad against the pass, but they're not good at stopping the run either. So we've seen what Dallas wants to do over the last few weeks. They want to run the ball a ton. So that's going to take the ceiling away from Dak.
D-Bro, with the injury, even against Green Bay, he still put up 21 points, Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Okay, that's his base. Before that, 24, 40, 43, 26, 24. I mean, this is not in the same universe.
You can name how many quarterbacks on legit 2 or 3 fingers that can get you 30 to 40 points in any.
And I'm not knocking Dak. It's not a knock on Dak, but Dak's best game is 21. Fields' worst game in that stretch is 21. It's just not. It's not even close.
Play Fields.
Alex O'Neill. Jerick McKinnon or Latavius Murray. I'm playing
McKinnon.
McKinnon.
I want
That's it.
nothing to do with
Playing.
Lat Murray.
I'm
Nothing.
playing the total. That's what I'm doing.
I'm playing
Mahomes
the
in the
one that
dome.
doesn't run like he's in a slow motion movie. That's
I
Lat
gotta
Murray.
look. I gotta hope I'm not playing Mahomes in any playoffs in this first week. I don't think I am. I'm playing Andy Behrens this week in Flex Championship and a couple other. I don't think I'm playing against Mahomes, but if you are playing against Mahomes this week, good luck because it's gonna be ugly. Happy Herbs, DJ Chark or Burks, 3 wide receiver PPR league.
I gotta see who Tennessee is playing this week.
I know you don't love Chark, but I think I still play Chark because
I don't love Chark. Who is
although it is Goff outside and he is an indoor cat. That is another thing to keep in mind.
Oh, I'm taking Burks. Burks versus the Chargers in a back and forth
Burks
game.
versus
Like it's gonna be Derrick Henry, but the Chargers secondary has not been good over the last few weeks.
I don't trust Jared Goff outside.
Sorry, I want no part of going against DJ Reed and Sauce.
No. Truly epic. Chiefs D versus Houston or Dallas D versus Jacksonville. It's hard to sit the number 2 fantasy defense. The Dallas Cowboys are the number 2 fantasy defense. Like I get it. I understand everyone's trepidation with it, but I would still be starting the Dallas Cowboys defense here.
This comes down to the health of Trevon Diggs and Anthony Brown. Especially if Diggs is out, I would go Kansas City. Houston has been one of the most giving teams, and we're talking about, look, they could be without not only Nico, Brandon Cooks, and Dameon Pierce. Like, this could be just a Kansas City just steamrolling this team.
They can. And if Kansas City gets another, pick 6 or something like that in there, like they did last week, that's fine too. Houston, by the way, won't commit to the QB system, the 2 QB system for week 15. I just saw that. That's fun. Oh, that's fun. Kenny Pickett is in the concussion protocol still too. Just saw a bit of news there. All right, let's get to our good friend Andrew Erickson Truther. I have Diggs, Juju, DPJ, Palmer, and Van Jefferson. Which ones are must starts no matter what the matchup? Well, Diggs is a must start no matter what. Yep. That's it. That's it. Stephon Diggs.
That's it. I mean,
at this point, you play Diggs, you play Juju because you're playing the total.
Yep.
You saw DPJ get some red zone attention. They're not there yet. Maybe by this week, they're on the same page. He would be my 3rd guy. Like, that's how I would rank them. And then Palmer and Van Jefferson last.
But as far as you're starting them regardless, it's only Diggs.
Diggs. But Juju is startable this week. You gotta play.
He's going to be on the wide receiver 2/3 borderline. Houston has been really, really good against slot wide receivers. Like Tavares Thomas is their backup guy that's been playing the slot for the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. He was one of the best slot corners in the entire NFL, and that guy was just sitting on the bench in Houston. Their secondary is really good.
Yes, they are. You know what else is really good? My Playbook. It's really good. If you're not using it, you should be. Download the My Playbook app. It's over on the Apple Store, Google Play. It's free, or go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Download it now. Sync your teams. Try to find out. Use the free agent finder. Use the tools that we have to set your lineups for the optimal lineups. Look, this is what we're doing here. We're trying to win championships. Go download it today. Check it out for free. Sync all of your playoff teams to it and go win some championships. And look, if you want to upgrade because you really want to make sure you're doing everything right, fantasypros.com/offers, 6 free months of the premium product. That's what you get when you go premium at Fantasy Pro. So go download My Playbook too. Keep you up to date with all this stuff going on too, with the news and everything happening. Let's go to Ryan Muckler. Swift or Foreman in my RB2 spot?
For me, it's Foreman. I have no faith in DeAndre Swift. I talked about this last week. Fair. He popped back up in the injury report, and what happened? We saw his snaps go right back to where they've been living. So no, I have nothing to do with Swift.
I understand. It makes me sad, but I understand. I can't argue with it. I just can't. So I won't. Joshua R. Just subscribe just now, Joshua. Yes. Well, good. Nice to see you.
Things you
start
love
Dulcich
to see.
Or Njoku in a standard league. I'm starting Njoku, and it ain't close.
Baby. Njoku all the way. The Ravens have struggled against tight ends, and this is over multiple seasons. Njoku's going to have a good game.
Njoku it up, baby. Let's go. All right, next here on the board, we have Tommy Rasiti. Juju, Cristian Watson, or Gabe Davis in the flex full PPR. I'm playing Cristian Watson.
I can
only play one.
It's Cristian Watson.
I mean, he's a touchdown machine.
The
guy
Rams
is a literal touchdown machine.
The Rams have been terrible versus wide receivers. Jalen Ramsey has been cooked all year. So I'm not worried about that secondary at all.
Joe Spoonsky. Hey, Spoonsky. That's a great name. That's a great name you want to yell out your window. Hey, Spoonsky, what's going on? Still thinking of your dad, Joe. Thank you, Joe. From one Joe to another, I appreciate you, and you hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to you guys. Thanks, Joe. You're a heck of a good guy, Spoonsky. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says about you. Spoonsky's all right with me. Great name. First-year subscriber, 11-3, by the way, Spoonsky is. Yes. Look at that. Look at you, Joe. Pick up Ingram, Njoku, Conklin, Knox, Okonkwo, or Hill. Look, Ingram's the guy everybody's going to chase.
Njoku, baby.
Njoku's the guy that I would want this week.
Njoku's been an elite tight end. Whenever he's been on the field, like his metrics scream off the page. I want Njoku.
Thank you again, Joe. Very kind of you. Merry Christmas to you and your family also. Oh, good man. Tristan Kirk, Justin Fields or Jared Goff, and then Waller off IR over Knox. No, I'm playing Knox. I'm not touching Darren Waller. Enough.
Yep. It's Fields and it's Knox. And one of the things I was already kind of looking at as I was kind of putting in some dummy lineups for Saturday's slate, Knox gets the Miami Dolphins, and we've talked about them. It's you can name it on one hand. The teams that you just go ahead.
Hunter Henry didn't score a touchdown last night.
He's so close, man.
He's so mad.
He caught what was that 40-yard pass?
I had money in a plus 350 anytime touchdown score. He did not score. I was so mad. Could not believe it.
Close to it too.
And Justin Fields over Jared Goff by a mile, Tristan.
Yes.
Guys, look, the only people you're sitting Justin Fields for right now are Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, maybe Herbert. That's it. Maybe Joe Burrow. We can have that conversation. But I'm still probably playing Fields for the rushing equity.
He's top 5.
I don't get it. What are we trying to do here? I don't get it.
I mean, put it this way, Joe. Let's draw the line in the sand. Would you, and just to give people out there the best idea of this, would you play for your playoff hopes and everything that you are right now? Would you play Josh Allen or Justin Fields this week? For me, it's Fields.
I will play Fields. Yeah. But people thought it was hot takey when after his 2 big game after the Patriots, I moved him way up rest of season rankings, and then I had him as QB 2 or 3. And people are like, "What are you, crazy?" I was like, "Nope, not crazy at all." And by the way, I just want to publicly say this too. Of all the shows that we did and all the shows that we had other people on, there's only one person I know that talked about the dominating Philadelphia Eagles offense going into the season. And it was Derek Brown. Derek Brown was so far ahead of this curve about how good the Eagles offense was going to be and the investments we should have in it. Dude, you absolutely crushed it. I just want to I didn't hear one other human being say that, man. Not one
MVPs. I talked about it.
A lot of smart people,
baby. It was the duo that could win your league. It is what it is.
Eagles offense has been so good. So
Hurts
kudos
Brown,
to you.
Baby.
Well done, my friend. Of course, they can't all be Justin Jefferson 1-1 picks, but this
is true.
Can you imagine people who got Justin Jefferson at the 7th spot or the 8th spot?
It's crazy. So it's one of those years where you're like, because the
I can't see you, CMC. Where are you? I can't see you.
Oh, come on. He's playing good. Don't even start
where
that.
Are you?
Don't even
it's
start
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan, where are you? Spotsky. All right, let's go.
I'm curious how people feel about the Derrick Henry versus AJ Brown take nowadays.
No, look, it was nice to see Derrick Henry bounce back last week. He had been a long time, but I mean, this is supposed to be Derrick Henry season. I don't expect much of Derrick Henry till we get to November, Thanksgiving time. That's when Derrick Henry starts to be Derrick Henry, and it hasn't happened this year. And I know they fell behind, and that's not good for them. They're not a team that can overcome that. But I digress. 35 Kinney, Paris Campbell, Gabe Davis, and Hollywood Brown pick 2. I'm playing Campbell and Hollywood. That's what I'm doing.
Same. That's where I'm going.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm flashing again. I don't know what's going on with my camo app today. Chris, I want you to get on the phone with the camo people, see what's going on there.
I'm glad this is not in podcast form because you're talking about flashing people currently. So if people are turning into YouTube, they can get the context. I'm just
that the ratings go up then. Josh Adams, J.K. Dobbins, or David Montgomery. This is close in
Dobbins.
The PPR. I would.
Dobbins.
Okay, here's a question. If we're down the 3rd string quarterback, is it still Dobbins? Well, give me they want to run the football even more. I get that, but then they become really one-dimensional. Still Dobbins?
They do, but Cleveland can't stop that one dimension.
That's a good point. They love Matty 5 or Matty V. I guess it's Matty V. They love Matty V. I don't know who they are, but they love Matty V. What do we think of Knight from the Jets? Should I grab him and play him? How is he still on the waiver wire?
Yeah.
Yes. Get him, play him. Yes.
We talked about that, Joe. Like, he's still only like 57% on sleeper. So
is it because people don't understand how to say
possible.
his name properly? It's Zonovan.
I don't know.
It's awesome.
Zonovan.
I wish my name was Zoe.
Yes, you play him.
Joseph. If my name was Joseph, that'd be amazing. It's not. It's just Joseph. That's it.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
Zerick.
No.
Joseph is good. Joseph sounds like some sort of
no. None of this Egyptian is good, Joe. No.
Yeah, it's good. Sean Williams, Evan Ingram, a must start. Well, it depends on who you're playing him over. I mean, a tight end,
a must start. No, not a must start. A
all
top
right,
12 guy. Yes.
Come on, let's play a game. Let's look at the tight ends. You're not playing over Kelsey. Again, I've said my piece about Andrews. We'll move on. Hawkinson, no. Schultz, no. Kittle, no. Freiermuth, no. After that, you can play him.
Yeah.
Because then it's and
I think you could actually make a really good conversation for tight end 6. Like Freiermuth's not even a must start.
How is Dulcich this week so far on the ECR at 7? How's that?
I don't know. He should be way
because he's playing Arizona. That's why.
I was going to say he should be. Well, I'm looking at my ranks right now because I haven't put mine in for the week.
You're fixing to say it? Yeah.
Yeah, fixing to say. Dulcich is probably my tight end 7, right behind Kittle and Njoku.
All right, so there you go. There's your answer. Matthew Heaton, Dallas Goedert if healthy, or Gerald Everett in the full PPR. I think if Goddard's on the field, you go back to Goedert.
If Goedert plays, you play Goedert. Simple.
Kevin Guevara, Curtis Samuel, or Richie James, DJ Moore in a PPR. I'll play DJ Moore. I'll take my shot there. Oh, he was hurt too, though.
Well, so is Richie James. So we got to wait on this. Like I can't even properly tell you that one yet.
Look, if DJ Moore is healthy, it's DJ Moore by a landslide.
Yeah.
Tone A, drop 1 rest of season. Dobbins, Eitenne, or Jay Williams.
I'm guessing that's Jamal.
Jamal Williams? Wow.
Ugh.
Why do we have to drop some?
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to have somebody else on your roster to drop besides these 3. I don't want to drop any of them. If I am going to drop somebody, it'd be Jamal Williams, but I don't want to drop him, especially with Swift's
playing the Jets this week.
Yeah,
you know, with that rotation, he's the most droppable of the 3. Because now Justin Jackson's getting work too the last couple of weeks. I don't know what the hell that's all.
Yeah, but he's the goal line guy. Who
all right, let's go to Joaquin Zen. Hey, Pisapia and friends. Full PPR flex. I love my people. Love you guys. Do. Flex, Elija Moore, Palmer, or Chark. That's what we got here.
Elija Moore.
Hesitation, or you just had to process it?
Well, I was looking at the Lions schedule after that for Jamal Williams, because I was like, I don't want to drop him at all. But yes, no, that was the hesitation. The brain was working. Elija Moore.
I mean, Jamal Williams is touchdown or bust. Like, if he doesn't get the touchdown, it's a bad day. If he gets 2, it's a great day, but you can't play like that. Eddie Jets, Goff, Brady, or Carr. Yeah. Outdoor Jared Goff, old man Tom Brady, or Derek Carr against the Patriots.
I'm going Goff. I don't care if it's outdoor, indoor. It doesn't matter. He's got weapons. We've seen a ceiling when he has weapons. Give me Goff.
So bad outside. So bad.
Brady's bad everywhere. Okay. So, and Derek Carr throws to Devontae Adams, and that's it.
It is. Some weeks that's good enough. Some weeks that's okay.
It's good enough.
John O'Keefe, Geno Smith, or Kirk Cousins trying to pull out a win in the losers bracket. John, I respect you. In the losers bracket, still giving a crap. Good for you.
Hey, man.
I think you played Kirk Cousins.
Consolation prizes, you know. I mean,
you played Kirk Cousins because the Geno. This is where the Geno matchup against San Fran is debatable. This is where I play Cousins.
You play Kirk. All
right. Edwin Marrero was able to sneak into the playoffs thanks to you guys. I have Kamara, Zeke, Dobbins, Eitenne, and Rhamondre. I need to pick 3. I'm playing Zeke A. I'm playing Dobbins B, and I'm playing Kamara C. Those are the 3 I'm playing. I don't know what's going on.
You're playing Zeke over Eitenne?
Yeah, I'm playing for touchdowns. This is playoffs.
Okay.
Touchdowns. All the touchdowns. Did I mention I like touchdowns? If you like touchdowns while Derek Brown is thinking, don't forget the Discord touchdown call contest. There's still plenty of time. FantasyPros.com/chat. Premium members. Remember when I mentioned that? If you're premium, go there. Win some free stuff. You like the Fantasy Pros show, you can get yourself a hat. You can get yourself a nice little hoodie, t-shirt, long sleeve, short sleeve t-shirt. Doesn't matter. You can get all those fun things because every single week, the winner of the touchdown call contest gets free $25 gift card to our Fantasy Pros shop. And obviously, we're giving away Stephon Diggs jersey to the winner, and still Hearts 24K at the top of that bad boy, just crushing it. So unbelievable, but it's fun. And if you're out of the playoffs right now, you got nothing else to do. You still have football. Well, go do it. Go hang out. Call some touchdowns. Win some free stuff. At least you get a Fantasy Pros shirt for Christmas. All right, let's go to Harvey Dub. Both on the waiver wire, Peoples-Jones or Drake London. Are you curious like me about Drake London with boy Desmond Ridder here? Let's go. It's Peoples-Jones.
It's Peoples-Jones. DPJ.
I am curious about Drake London.
I'm curious, but
anything but
Ridder
Mariota.
could easily be worse than Mariota. Like
He could be worse.
That's not worse. Saying
he could
a whole
easily
lot.
be better too.
I don't know. I'm not the biggest
Desmond Ridder's not that bad. I don't know why
the other side of that coin, Joe, is he's not that good either.
Listen, I think this is what happens with the fantasy football community, okay, at large. What they do, and this is not a knock on the fantasy football community at large. This is just the truth. A lot of them don't watch college football, okay? I'm watching college football games. You can learn a lot from tape. You can read scouting reports. I'm not saying you're not the at large.
I know.
They hot take a lot of nonsense, and they'll piggyback what NFL scouts say and all these other things. Yeah. But watching Desmond Ridder for 2 years play for Cincinnati, and I watched him for 2 seasons, and Bogman will tell you this because I liked him 2 years ago, and I think and he was like, I don't know about Cincinnati. I don't know if they're going to be as good as you think. I was like, I think they're okay. They can't compete with the SEC, of course not. But you know what? They got to the playoff. Desmond Ridder is not that bad. Desmond Ridder, I think, if you support him properly with a good offensive line and a run game and weapons, Desmond Ridder has a chance to be a capable NFL quarterback. He's also a guy that guys love and want to play for. He's that kind of dude, like leadership-wise. And that's something that lacks in a lot of teams. Kyler Murray lacks it. We can say Baker Mayfield might lack it. We could say there's a lot of these guys out there. We could say lack that leadership. Desmond Ridder's got that intangible in spades. The other stuff you can work on. So I want to give him a shot, but I'm not for my fantasy championship. I don't. No. It's Donovan Peoples-Jones. So at the end of the day, there we go. Let's go to Jiggly. Zay Jones over Goodwin.
No, I can't do that. I don't
want to do that.
Look, I get it, and I understand
touchdown. It was fun, but it's not something we can count on. Especially
I get it, but Goodwin is getting too much volume on a weekly basis. Like you can sew him into 10 plus targets every week. You can't say that about Zay Jones.
Patrick Kubiak, hello from Germany. My good friend Pat from Germany. Please pick a D. We've got Cardinals, Packers, Steelers, Lions, Saints, or Browns. It's a lot to choose from there. I don't want the Packers because they don't do anything defensively. They don't create. I mean, they're ranked very high this week, but they've had one double-digit game all year. They're not a good fantasy defense. The Steelers this week, I'm still programming my brain.
This is easy, man. I'm going with the Cardinals. They play the Broncos. They pressure, Joe. They're top 10 in pressure rate. Like,
they're not a great fantasy defense either.
Well, none of these are like knockout ones. I mean, maybe Pittsburgh is the only one. The other one that I'm debating: Pittsburgh versus Carolina.
Who are the Saints? The Saints have who this week? They've got it.
They play Desmond Ridder. They play the Falcons, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I play the Steelers.
Yeah, I think it's for me. It's Steelers or Cardinals. I can make a case for both of them. I think your higher floor option is probably to go with Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, I would give it a shot for a big day from Watt. I would try Steelers. Okay. I don't like any of these groups really. They're not good. Armando Sanchez, Burks or Knight in the flex. I'm playing Knight.
I'm playing Burks
over Zonovan Knight. You Zonovan crazy.
Have you seen how good the Lions' run defense has been over the last?
They have been very good, but he's going to get
very good.
He's going to get opportunities.
That's fair.
But no, they've been very good. No, everybody has been crapping on the Lions. You can run the ball on the defense. I've been hearing that for 6 weeks. The only place 6 weeks ago, we started, actually not even 6 weeks, 4 weeks ago, we stopped doing that on the DFS show. We're like, hey guys, you can't run on the Lions anymore. We've seen it. Something's changed. The scheme's different, maybe personnel, whatever it is.
Their D-line is playing He's the defensive
really coordinator good. There. Isn't Aaron Glenn? He's done a phenomenal job there. Austin Wilhelm. Hey, pro bros. You guys helped me clinch 3 seed this year. PPR flex Mike Williams, Christian Watson, Goodwin, or Knight. Williams and Watson are close, but I'm going to go Watson here and play the touchdown. Again, I'm playing touchdown games. That's what I'm doing.
Mike Williams. I'm going Mike Williams against Tennessee.
They're honestly, Austin.
They're right. What? I mean,
you need to get Williams and Watson in this lineup.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that.
They have touchdown equity for miles here.
Yeah.
Julian A, thoughts on TY Hilton?
He's a pickup. I mean, the problem with TY is not so much TY, it's the fact that where he's going to fall in this target tree. You're going to be behind CeeDee Lamb. You're probably going to be behind Dalton Schultz. And you're fighting with tertiary targets and Michael Gallup on a weekly basis on an offense that's really run balanced now. Like, I just don't see a lot of volume. TY is like a desperation, deep league, like dart throw. Like, outside of that, no.
No. Just a hard no for me. Hard pass. There's other guys in the waiver wire that can help you. T.Y. Hilton's not one of them. Don't waste money. Don't waste waiver priority on T.Y. Hilton. It's week 15. This is something where they're just trying to get some depth, trying to make sure
this is a playoff move. It's the same thing if they would have signed Odell. It would not be for regular seasons. For fantasy playoffs.
At this point, so more to come on that. Last question, B-Rob. Is there any upside to Tysom Hill this week as a flex?
As much upside as there is in any week. I mean, projecting the Tysom Hill go off week, good luck.
Not doing it. I'm not taking the 0.
No, I'm not. And we were talking about in the Slack channel yesterday about like Jeff Driscoll and him having tight end eligibility on Yahoo. And it's the same conversation for both of them. Like, when do you ever feel good? Like, unless you're in a deep league and everybody's hurt or you have no upside options at all, like you're talking about, do I start like the Daniel Bellingers of the world or Austin Hoopers of the world? Or do I roll the dice on the upside of a Driscoll or Tysom Hill? Fine, do it in that scenario. But if I've got anybody that's like at least sniffing around the top 12, I'm starting them over either one of those guys.
There you have it, folks. Don't overthink too much. Go get the players you need. Play for touchdowns this week. If you have to use waiver priority to stop somebody else from picking up somebody useful, do it. Gamesmanship is okay. It's part of the game. So if you need more help, we're always around here on the Twitterverse. You can always find us. We'll be back again for another live stream here on the YouTube channel. We got another pod to record today. And don't forget, like the stream, subscribe to Fantasy Pros. You can win the Trayvon Diggs autographed helmet from pristineauction.com. Click that little bell till it goes ding so you know every time a piece of content drops here at Fantasy Pros. And you could win the Trayvon Diggs autographed helmet. It's a mini one. It's tiny. You put it in your pocket and you say, hey, look at this. I just got this for watching Fantasy Pros. What did you get? Nothing. You know why? Because you weren't watching Fantasy Pros. That's on them. So that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. Thanks for Chris again for also being Johnny on the spot there with a technical issue today and helping out. He's so good. He's so good. He's going to go put his hoodie on now and go take a nap. And in the meantime, Derek Brown and I are going to go do more work. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for D-Bro. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.